Tutorial is looking at the mathematical strand of measurement and geometry, and more specifically we're going to focus our understanding on the total angles in a quadrilateral. Now before we start looking at the angles in a quadrilateral, it's important to understand that quadrilaterals do come in different sizes and a little bit of a different shape. Now the common thing between all quadrilaterals is that they are four-sided shapes, but they do have different characteristics, and these characteristics can help define or classify the quadrilaterals. Now a few of these examples that I've got here, the parallelogram, the rectangle, the rhombus, the square, and the kite, all have these different characteristics. I'm not going to go through them because you can pause the video if you wish to look at them, but I would encourage you to get a bit of an understanding about how to tell the difference between these different quadrilaterals and some of the properties that they have. Now, when we're looking at the angle sum of a quadrilateral, basically that means that a quadrilateral has a total internal angle of 360 degrees. So every four-sided shape, when you add up all the internal angles, you're going to get 360. And we know this because a quadrilateral can actually be divided into two triangles, similar to the picture down here. And we know that triangles have a sum of 180. So a quadrilateral actually has two triangles in it. Therefore, we have two lots of 180, and therefore that gives us a total angle of 360. Okay, so essentially in these example questions, we're trying to find the missing angle. So you can see in our first question, we're trying to find the angle of x. And I know that there's a right angle here, which is 90 degrees. I also know that when I add all those angles together, I end up with 360. So I've got x plus 124 plus 90 plus 57 is going to give me 360. I'm then going to collect all the numerical values and end up with 271 equals 360. I'm then going to take 271 from both sides, and I'm going to end up with x equaling 89 degrees. In my second example, right, I'm going to try and find out A first, and I know that A plus all the other internal angles, which is 75, 86, and 94, must equal 360 because it's a quadrilateral. Therefore, I'm going to collect all my numerical values here, and it's going to end up with 255 equals 360. I'm going to take 255 from both sides, and A therefore is going to equal 105 degrees. Now if I wanted to work out B, I know that this angle here is a straight line, and the angles in a straight line equal 180. So I can say A plus B equals 180. A, I've just worked out, is 105 plus B equals 180. Therefore, B is going to give me a total of 75 degrees. Okay, so here are some practice questions I'd like you to have a go at. Please feel free to pause the video. Once you think you've got the questions correct, continue the video and we'll see how you went. Okay, so let's see how you went. In our first question, we know this is a rhombus because we know that all the sides are the same length given by these little dashes here. We also know that the corners are not right angles because they're not given by the little square. So we know it's a rhombus. Now, trick is, what properties do we know of a rhombus? Well, we know that a rhombus diagonals are cut in half. So we know that the lengths in this particular case are 2 centimeters, and x therefore must also be 2 centimeters. We also know that in a rhombus, the angle that the diagonals meet create a right angle. So therefore, y must equal 90 degrees. In our second example, we know that the internal angles of a four-sided shape or a quadrilateral equal 360. So we have A plus 75 plus 85 must equal 360. I'm going to collect these like terms. 2A plus 75 and 85 makes 160 equals 360. Take 160 from both sides. 2A equals 200. Therefore, A must equal 100 degrees.